A friend of mine posted a video on Facebook. The video was of a guy and a girl walking up some stairs, and he leans in to brush her hair off her face, and it looks like he's going to try and kiss her. She sticks her arm in between them, shakes his hand, and then he turns away, walks down the stairs with his head down. And that's the video. And the friend was asking, obviously, what advice could people give him, so what he could do differently, maybe to improve his chances. Now, the first thing that screams out is that he had not been paying attention, because if he had been, he wouldn't have gone that far. He was obviously making an intimate move, which brushing hair away from the face is intimate, and obviously hadn't created a situation where that was the right thing to do, where that was the next natural step. So what he'd done is he'd intruded on her personal space in a very personal way, which looked like she reacted strongly to it, freaked her out a bit, and she pushed him away, which is fair enough. So what could he do differently? He could pay better attention. And the other thing he could do is, I don't really know what happened before, we don't know anything about it, there was no sound on it either. But what he could have done is just focused on creating that special moment when that could happen. Assuming it's a first date, leading up to that moment, what did he do to create it? Because it is in the creation of that moment. And so if he'd have done that, and he'd have paid more attention to her to notice if the moment was getting created, if it was working, then he could have had a better result, or he would never have got to the point of embarrassment, which he looked like he was embarrassed, although that's a mind read, of actually going that far and being intimate when she didn't want it. So he could have saved himself that trouble, and saved her really, because it probably wasn't very nice for her to suddenly have that thrust upon her when she didn't want it. So two things. What do I want to create, and make sure I pay attention that it is being created, because intimate moments are created by both people. Obviously you can have influence over it, but you don't control it. You can only do what you can do, and then notice if it helps, if it gets you to where the goal that you want. Now I'm speaking about this from having years of not knowing what to do, of being frightened, of fear, of not making the first move. He made the first move. I would never have even done that, let alone that. So he's already got that in his favour. If he then adds in the other parts to it, then he might increase his chances in that kind of situation. It's taken me a long time to learn it, and what helped me was, apart from, because I spent a lot of years being frightened, that I spent a lot of years paying attention and noticing the other person, of noticing the people I was with. That's something that happened when you close down internally and you pay attention to people. It does help you later on. Of course, it didn't feel like that at the time. And then learning NLP and hypnosis, that helped greatly, because during that I spent, I can't count the hundreds of hours I've spent paying attention to other people, to the subtleties of their communication, of their reactions, and that has sort of helped me a hell of a lot in my life, in my relationships, with everybody really. And now I'm in a fortunate position to have a beautiful girlfriend who I'm very lucky to have, who's interesting, fun, exciting, and I'm just very lucky to have her. I'm lucky, and also I spend time creating the moments together. We co-create them. So that we can keep making a relationship as special as possible. And this is an ongoing thing. So, and this goes for any relationship that you have, whether it be someone you've just met, or whether it be, a family member or anybody else. It's creating the moments that you want to have, and paying attention that they're being created. And then maybe having some influence over steering them in a different way if need be. So that's my take on it. That's what I think. So what do you think about it? What do you think he could have done different? And how do you create those special moments in your life? If you have an opinion on it, please comment below.